Yes, people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Eli Talks Football, and welcome to your first ever match preview for Chelsea in the Premier League this season. And our first game will be a London derby against Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. kickoff. So the world champions begin their first Premier League game against the London rivals Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow, and I'm looking forward on how we play and if we can finally break down a low block because that's what we did. Because when AC Milan went down to 10 men um last Sunday, I was just trying to I'm just gonna saying to myself, I'm going to be watching how Chelsea can handle it. And yes, we conceded, but we scored two goals. Yes, one of the penalty, but the other one from Lim Delap was a good finish. So we managed to do that, and we put four past AC Milan. So there you go. So this one, I feel like this game might be a bit difficult because Crystal Palace are going to play a deep low block, unlike AC Milan. But I feel like with the new signings, the likes of João Pedro, Estevao, Jamie Gintes as well, even Asugo as well. I feel like with these signings, I feel like I'm extremely confident that we'll get something because Crystal Palace, I'm hearing that there's not going to be Eberechi Eze because as I'm calling this right now, it looks like Eze is saying yes to Spurs. So it looks like Spurs wants to get Eze. It looks like it might happen because he said yes to Tottenham's project and he's very excited as well. So also, guys, if you're watching this right now, let me know how you feel about this one because if you don't get Eze, then who else you gonna get? Because Man City, I interested in Rodrigo, and Nico Williams is staying, and who else? Rafael has went to Barcelona, so who are you gonna get on your left wing? Because Gabriel Martinelli hasn't been great, last season and in pre-season. Do you think that Madueke is good enough to be playing as a left winger? Do let me know. But yeah, before I get into the game, the match preview, I would just like to say Sunderland. I watched their game earlier today, and they put three past West Ham. In the first half, it has been a bit boring, but in the second half, Sunderland were just over West Ham, scored three goals, even kept a clean sheet as well. And that's really good for Sunderland. Their first win in the Premier League since 2017. So it's been 8 years since they last been in the Premier League. But they start off with a bang. Now, I still think that Sunderland is going to get relegated because because this is only match day one. Now the reason why I predicted them to win this game is because number one, they're at home, and number two, West Ham haven't been great under Graham Potter so far. So that's why I predicted them to win. Now listen, this is only match day one. There's 37 games to go for Sunderland, so I still believe they'll go down. Let's not gaslight them just as for a moment. But in terms of today, well done. Fair play to Sunderland. Like if they continue to play like this and get results, then maybe they might be the dark horses and avoid relegation. So yeah, man, big up to the Black Cats. Let's see if they can perform like this from now to the end of the season. But I still think they will go down. In terms of Tottenham, I expected them to win. I was so close of getting my prediction correct. I did say 3-1 to Tottenham. And if Burnley would have scored, I'd have got to my first 3 points of the season. So far, I've got 1 point for the Liverpool game, a 1 point for the Sunderland win, and 1 point for the Tottenham win. The first 0 points that I've got was the Villa versus what do you call it? Villa versus the Newcastle game because I would have thought that game will end 3. I would have thought that Villa will win this game. I did say 3-1 to them, but it was boring. Like Villa only had two attempts, and both of them were straight at the goalkeeper. So that was a boring game. But Newcastle, you know, when Konsa, I mean, I don't know what on earth he was thinking. Like, how on earth can you foul Anthony Gordon like that? And for me, you know the rules. If you deny scoring opportunity, they were sent off. So for me, that was definitely a red card. So listen, Aston Villa, yeah, Emi Martinez got a red card against Manchester United. So it's going to be the first three games for Aston Villa this season in the Premier League. Now Kwanzaa done the exact same thing. So obviously Emi Martinez missed this game and he's going to miss the next two games. Now since Kwanzaa got a straight red card, but that means he's going to miss game week 2, 3, and 4. Like, I don't know what's going on with Aston Villa, but they need to sort themselves out because I had them in fifth place. But if they continue to like keep wasting their chances and keep getting sent off, then I don't see the finish in the top seven, top six, or maybe even top seven, depending on how English teams does in the Champions League. So, but yeah, man, listen, that's my first 0 points. But listen, 3 points so far in the opening day of the Premier League season is not bad, especially for me. So there we go. But the main headlines is Son getting a 3-0 win against West Ham, and happy for them. So let's see how they do. But yeah, enough of that one. Let's move on into the preview. So make sure you guys like, share, and comment, subscribe. I need the bonus notifications as well. So yesterday I watched the press conference, and there's some good news and bad news. The good news is that both Badiashile and Lavia are in the process of getting back from injury. Now he hasn't told us when they're gonna be available, but they are in the process of getting fit. So that's a good thing because Lavia keeps getting injuries after injuries after injuries, but we don't need to worry because we got Esugo and Andre Santos to be the backup, so we don't have to play Lavia every single day. So I just hope he gets some rest. But Reece James fitness is getting really, really, really good on the Enterman Wesker. So there we go. But Chalobah, after I would have thought he's got injured in the game against AC Milan, it looks like he's okay, so that's good to see. But in his press conference, he said that he desperately needs a centre back, and that for me, I hope the own. But for me, it looks like they still trust the likes of Chalobah, the likes of Tosin as well, Josh Achpong, all that stuff. But for me, we definitely do need a centre back. If I was Chelsea Football Club right now, I would get Mark Gray here because his Premier League experience, he came from my academy and he could play both on the left and on the right. So for me, I'll get Mark Gray over the line. If we can't get him, then maybe try and get an experienced centre back who knows how to defend because if Chelsea want to, challenge for the title, we need to get to the centre back and a goalkeeper because don't get me wrong, Robert Sanchez the last few months have been improving, but I still think for me he's still one of the worst goalkeepers in the league. But for me, yeah, if Robert Sanchez if I see the Robert Sanchez that I saw against PSG, then maybe he could surprise me and all the Chelsea fans, if you know what I mean. So if he can prove on his distribution and his shot stopping as well and not try and play it from the back, then maybe we don't need a new goalkeeper. But for me, I'm still disappointed that we didn't get Mike Maignan because he'll definitely fit in our system. And also, I just have to say this as well. Going back to the Tottenham game, Mohamed Kudus. I feel like so far he could be the best sign of the season because he did one against PSG and today he got 2 assists, same, similar thing, just one through one on the right hand side, not make that left back for Burnley, passed, crossed into a Charlison and scored. And I'd just like to say that as well. That's what Charlison's second goal was unbelievable. Like there's only match day one, and his goal could be a contender for goal of the season. Like only match day one, So I tell you what, yeah, I had Tottenham in eighth, but you know what? If Tottenham continue to play this good football and also, kept the clean sheet as well. So if Tottenham can do that, yeah, I don't think they'll finish in the top four, but I feel like I might put them above my United and Aston Villa as well. So, but it's only match day one, so I'm not gonna gaslight too much. So yeah, going back to the Chelsea conversation, don't get me wrong, I'm happy, I'm buzzing that we got Estevao, but I feel like our signing Mohamed Kudus would have been a statement signing because he's a game changer. He could play on the left and on the right as well. So that's why for me, I'm still thinking that we didn't get Kudus, but if Estevao can be like Mohamed Kudus, then I don't have to worry. But Mohamed Kudus would have been a great signing, but him going to Tottenham is a great signing, and you can tell by the game today he was absolutely fantastic. So there you go. So there you go on that one. But yeah, man, focusing on today. Yeah, so I've talked about the centre backs, why we do need them, a goalkeeper as well, and yeah, and also we're facing the FA Cup, and the Community Shield winners Crystal Palace. So Yeah, man. So Crystal Palace, congratulations. Let's see what you can do against us. It's going to be a very tough game because I want to see if we can put on the same performance as we did against AC Milan. Don't get me wrong. I feel like we are going to concede because when it comes to low blocks, we do concede. But if João Pedro can continue to can continue to goal score, to have that great score in one, if Pedro Neto continue to cook on the right hand side, and if Cole Palmer could have that relationship between him and Esteval, I feel like we might get something in this game because it's going to be very difficult. And for me, from now on until Man United, I expect Chelsea to at least get 12 points because we got Crystal Palace. In fact, the funny thing is that we don't leave London until the Man United game. So from now until after the Brentford game, we're staying in London. So we got London derby tomorrow. Then this Friday we go to East London to face West Ham away. Then we got West London derby after that. That against Fulham at home, and then we go to G10 Beauty Stadium for another West London derby. So four London derbies in a row is absolutely crazy. So I expect Chelsea to at least get 12 points. So because last season we drew to Crystal Palace at home, so I expect Chelsea to win. You bounce back and get that win. Last season we beat West Ham 3-0, so we can get that result again. Then Fulham at home, we lost to them 2-0, sorry, 2-1. I think it was Harry that scored the last minute winner at Stamford Bridge. And then Brentford away, we drew to them 0-0 last season, so let's hope that we can get the win. So from now until the Man United game, I expect Chelsea to get 12 points out of 12. So, and it all starts tomorrow. So listen, it's gonna be a very difficult game. But Chelsea Football Club, the way I'm watching my team right now, is playing some really good football. It looks like we are scoring goals, and you are keeping clean sheets, but not a lot. But listen, man, and the reason why I'm also confident is because Chelsea have won 18 games out of 20. And the reason why I'm confident that we're going to win this game is because Nicholas Jackson is not going to be in that squad today. Because if you guys remember, he got a red card against Man United, against Newcastle, which was on game week 36. So he didn't feature the Man United game, and he didn't feature in the Forest game, and he's not going to feature today. So that's the only reason why I'm confident is because if Nicholas Jackson would have started this game or come off the bench, then he'll get another red card, and then we'll probably lose that game. So that's the reason why I'm also confident is because Nicholas Jackson is not in the squad, and João Pedro it looks like he's proven why he's a better number nine than Nicholas Jackson. Because I keep saying that Nicholas Jackson, for me, is a left winger. That's what we signed from Villarreal, is a left winger. So, yeah, it looks like João Pedro's doing the job. So, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be an easy game, but I'm just confident in my team. The way we play right now, the style of play, is really good to see. So, free flowing, exciting football. So, I'm definitely excited about to see what the world champions can do against Crystal Palace in our first London derby this season at Stamford Bridge. So there we go. So yeah, man, I've pretty much talked about the what I want to see Chelsea do, and hopefully I get to see Marco Correa inverting. Hopefully I get to see Cole Palmer, in that White House space, just just feed the ball into, João Pedro, hopefully, and him getting a goal. Because, I mean, after Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer created the most big chances in the Premier League last season. So, hopefully, those chances could turn into either goals and an assist, if you know what I mean. So, let's hope that Cole Palmer can do that. All right, guys. So, without further ado, let me give you guys my predicted lineup for tomorrow's game. So let's start off with the goalkeeper. So in goal, if for me it's got to be Robert Sanchez, because don't get me wrong, Philip Jorgensen, you know, um, got a clean sheet against Bayer Leverkusen. We beat 2-0, but I don't. I but for me, he's our number two, and Robert Sanchez is our number one. Even though I still think he's bad. So, and like I said before, I hope Robert Sanchez, whatever he did against PSG, I hope he does the same thing against Crystal Palace. Whether he took snacks, when he took gym, when he took training sessions or something like that. Whatever he did against PSG, I need to see him doing against Crystal Palace. So yeah, for me, Robert Sanchez in goal. Then in terms of the back four, my back four for me is going to be Mark Cook. The both full backs is Mark Cooker left back and Reece James right back. Then the two centre backs, I've gone for Chalobah and Tosin. Because like I said, Levi Cole is injured and Chalobah is okay. I would not be surprised if he doesn't start because Chalobah does because Manto Muesca doesn't want Trevor Chalobah to get injured again, so I'll not be surprised. But as for now, I'm going for Chalobah and Tosin because you know, because we don't have a left centre back, so hopefully we can get one and we'll see what we does. But yeah, Chalobah and Tosin, I feel like Tosin has improved, and also Chalobah as well. So those are my two centre backs, Tosin and Chalobah. In terms of the midfield, I've gone for Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo because I don't get me wrong, Enzo Fernandez had a quiet game against AC Milan, but for me, but Enzo Fernandez definitely improved last season, so I hope he can be consistent when it comes to goals and assists because I still think Enzo Fernandez can still provide for us. I mean, when it comes to Caicedo, listen, he's still one of the best DMs in the Premier League. And let's hope that Caicedo can continue his performance like he did last year. So, and the fact that Moise Caicedo hasn't been mentioned in the Ballon d'Or and a young player of the season for me makes no sense. I hope Caicedo can be consistent week in and week out so that the Premier League can vote for him and also be in the Ballon d'Or conversation. So there we go. So both Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo in the pivot. I mean, yeah, in the pivot. In terms of the left wing, I'm gonna go for Jamie Gittens because I feel like Tari George did well against AC Milan, but he's a young man, so and definitely do need to rest. Of course, Pedro Neto can is starting to cool for that left wing, but I think for me that right wing is better for Pedro Neto. So and we still haven't got Xavi Simons over the line, so hopefully we can get him. But yeah, Jamie Gittens, the one thing I will say is that he needs to improve on his finishing because that's the only thing I was a bit frustrated about Jamie Gittens against AC Milan. When it comes to like 1v1 and 1 in 3 on goal, he's a threat. But I feel like he needs to improve on his shooting. So, but Jamie Gittens, I was impressed by seeing so far. So hopefully he can improve on his shooting. So yeah, him on left wing. In terms of number 10, I'm gonna go for Palmer because I feel like for me he's gonna be moving on the right hand side and then Enzo Fernandez will be playing on the left. So yeah, hopefully I have to see Palmer in performance like he did against AC Milan because he was so unlucky. Like he could have scored a hat trick because both free kicks that he took, one hit the post and then one was really close, and then the other chance, just sky the high. So hopefully, Palmer can also improve on his finishing. In terms of the right wing, I'm gonna go for Pedro Neto because this guy from last season they get injured. You know, started off good. I say from December until March didn't particularly look that great, but from April when he scored that goal against Fulham up until now, he has been our best winger, especially in the Club World Cup as well. He has been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Pedro Neto for me on the right, and yeah, and then also I know that Pedro Neto will be in tears because there will be a minute silence for our game against Crystal Palace because the situation with Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, so he's going to be in tears. And then finally up top is João Pedro because listen, I had doubts about him, but my goodness me. And like I said before in my match actually against AC Milan, what I love about João Pedro is that his ability on the ball, he's physically strong, he times one perfectly, and he can score goals. And when he takes his shoots, at least his shots is on target. Sometimes it can be close, but many other time it's the goalkeeper have to make a save. So I love João Pedro, man, and I hope he continues his goal scoring run because 5 goals in 5 games is unbelievable. And the fact that he went to Brazil before he joined Chelsea and scored 5 goals in 5 games is unbelievable. So I hope he can continue his goal scoring form. Now, many people on the lap to start, and I do get that. But I think for me, João Pedro, what I've seen so far is absolutely impressive. So, listen, like I said, I'm not going to gas him because he scored in, preseason games. But what I saw from João Pedro so far is absolutely fantastic. And if he continue like this, then I feel like he might break the curse and he could potentially score at least 50 to 20 goals in the Premier League because that's my expectation for João Pedro is going to be if he's going to be playing as a false nine. So I'm loving what I've seen from João Pedro, and I hope he can continue that from now until the end of this season. So yeah, João Pedro for me will be playing up top. So that is my prediction for predicted lineup for the game against Crystal Palace. Hey guys, just a quick update. So, I've just seen the tweet on X.com, and unfortunately, Tosin is going to miss this game because there's been a small issue. I'm not quite sure if it's his injury or if he's feeling ill or something like that, but Tosin will not feature. So instead of putting Tosin Adebayor in my predicted lineup, I'm going to put Josh Achpong to replace him. So basically, my back four is going to be Mark Cucurella left back, Chalobah on the left, Josh Achpong on the right centre back, and Reece James up top. So that's just a quick update to you. So I'm basically changing my back four for the Crystal Palace game tomorrow. So, so do let me know in the comments down below whether you did agree or disagree with my predicted lineup. And if you got your predicted lineup, do let me know in the chat. So, last and not least, before I end this video, is for me to give my prediction. Now, my first prediction would have been 3-1 Chelsea, but since we're facing Crystal Palace, which who beat Liverpool in the Community Shield and Manchester City in the FA Cup, it's going to be a very difficult game. So I wanted to go 3-1 Chelsea, but I'm just going to go 2-1 because it's going to be close because Crystal Palace are a really good team. The only positive is that there's not going to be Eze in the squad, but can our defense handle Jon Mateta because he's a very good striker? That's the only question. And can our midfield, I've no doubt that our midfield is going to dominate them because Walton for Crystal Palace is a fantastic player. But for me, Moise Caicedo is a way better player than Walton, in my opinion. So let's hope he can continue to dominate Crystal Palace midfield, especially the likes of Walton. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Let's hope we can get our first win in our Premier this season and start off with a bang against Crystal Palace in a London derby against them at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that one. So guys, there will be a live photo on and a match action for that one. So make sure you guys tune into that one. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your games. And yeah. And don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe as well. And yeah, hit the like button and make sure you tune and make sure you invite everyone over to watch this video. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. Look after yourselves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, up the chills.